Good morning. It's Frisky Friday, and I'm going to bring the guys in. Here's George and Mark.
I was dancing with that music.
I like that music.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning,
George.
Patriots. Today is Good Friday, and we know what's going to happen today.
George, you were dancing?
Yeah,
behind the scenes?
I like the music of the opening.
That's good.
I like that music too. I picked that one out.
It was good.
I was rocking and rolling there.
I think we should get a film of George dancing. I think that would be
pole dancing.
Pole dance.
I'd like to stick the pole up some people's ass. I tell you right now.
Oh boy.
Oh,
boy.
It's Good Friday. I thought we were
Somebody
going
got
to
up
tone it down
early
a
this
little bit.
morning.
Hey, nice shirt.
Look at that.
How about this? Like, this is my badass Born to Ride 45 shirt. It's even got a nice back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I got it from a
see
friend of
that
mine.
back. Let me see that back.
That
My
was
back.
the
Yeah. Collector's item, huh?
That's the ones we made up custom for surgeons.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah,
Those
thanks,
are
George. I
service
got this in the mail this week.
Because every time it's in the laundry, you know.
No, you know what? It's actually funny. I was gonna wear it today.
And you blame your wife.
No, I was gonna wear it today. I'm like, you know what? I have a Teams meeting I have to do right afterwards for work, so I got it. I can't have it.
Well, you
That's
could
okay, George. I'd wear it even if I had a meeting. You know.
Yeah, I know. You know,
Some people,
I work with,
some people appreciate it more than others, I guess.
Appreciate it. Yeah, but even Trixie's not wearing a shirt either. She's got to wear.
No, I got Doge.
She's got Doge, man.
That's the one Red.
Did you get that from Frank or from some?
No, I got it from Red. Red Ginger.
Okay.
She sent it to me. I'm gonna do the prayer before we really get off track. And okay. This way, you guys will be good for a few minutes.
Like the few minutes. Here we go.
The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he who wins souls is wise. So the calling of every believer is to be a pointer, to offer directions to those who are lost, that the way to heaven is through a door whose name is Jesus. So to be a soul winner is the happiest thing in this world, and I thought that was good for Good Friday.
Yep.
It was a nice one. So
Amen.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so what are we going to talk about to open today?
What do you want to talk about? I'll talk about anything.
Yeah,
I'll talk about that moron. What about the moron?
How about this Letitia James? How about this Letitia James? We kind of talked to her briefly.
The fraud broad.
I mean, I think this is great. I mean, you know, we always say Democrats accuse us of exactly what they are, right?
Yeah,
Here's
projection, man.
About the fraud case, trying to get Donald Trump found guilty for everything, including pulling a mattress tag off a mattress, right? Or short of it, I should say.
Yeah.
And look at the stuff that they dug into her past on, and she's nervous.
Yeah.
Well, she better be nervous. I mean, she should be going to jail for this stuff. I was just looking up. President Trump had a good quote on that, although it's not the quote of the day.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I'm not finding it.
You're not finding it?
Yeah, there's our president is pretty prolific when it comes to tweets, so or truths.
Oh yeah.
And so I saw it a little while ago, but I think I might have just scrolled past it, so I'm not going to waste everybody's time. But he had a lot to say about Letitia, that's for sure.
I mean, you could do a whole hour on Trump truths.
You know, there's an old Italian saying, "He who spits in his ceiling come back in the face." And that's exactly what she did. I'm going to prosecute him. But you know what's funny? Their arrogance, the Democrats' arrogance destroyed them.
Yeah.
Because that's how they are. And
yeah.
they're so arrogant.
Well, now she's praying that.
For example, like the black kid that stabbed the white kid. Everybody saw the riots, all the white people had in the street, right? That didn't happen. And then they raised so much money for that kid.
Oh, and look what they did with it.
Yeah.
They've done it a mansion. They bought a house. They bought a Cadillac Escalade. I mean, come on. I mean, where's your priorities? You know.
Did you see? Wasn't the murdered kid's father at the press conference? Was it yesterday or something? And they demonized him for being there.
Well, yeah, they actually called the police and had him removed. This man, I'd remind you, the day after his son was murdered, came out and said that he, completely forgives the murderer. And that young man, he was an identical twin, and his identical twin brother was there, and he literally died in the arms of his brother. And
Yep.
he said that as he watched the life come out of his body, that he literally felt like his soul was taken away. So then this gentleman, his father, just showed up at the press conference that they're going to have, which is unheard of, and all he was doing was standing quietly in the back of the room. But somebody recognized him for who he was. They started demanding that he leave, even though they had said the press conference was open to the public, and he quietly and politely refused. And so they called the police and had him drug out. And then after that, they started demonizing him, saying, "See, this is the kind of, the disrespect that this man had for coming around the family of the murderer who had killed his son." So
Yeah,
it's
the
sad,
nerve of
sad
that
thing.
man, right? I mean, that's
Well,
how crazy is that?
Well, it shows you what type of kid, the one that did the stabbing, where he was brought up as,
Where he's raised.
and
Yep.
and bring nurtured into that racist environment that they all try to push. Like there's that what do you call the moron that went to El Salvador.
Yeah, Senator, the senator from Maryland, I believe
Yeah.
it was
Well, that's his.
Chris Van Halen. No,
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah,
Van Holen. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's his. That was one of his. He claims as his constituents. That he had to go and try to release him and everything else. He broke the Logan's Act.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't expect people.
Yeah, no right to do that.
But the problem is, again, we have the Republicans got their knees together instead of having the balls that they're supposed to have. The balls, BAWLS, as I spell it, and say that they don't do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna start laughing.
The balls.
The
Let me tell you
balls.
something. Trust me, I would like to grab a couple of people, like especially Schiff there, and snap his effing neck, and the other ones too. I mean, the Democrats.
Oh wait, here he comes. You want to do this, George? Huh? You want to do this?
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to.
Oh,
I just broke an expensive prop I had for the show.
yeah, but you really need to stick like a watermelon on top of
Oh,
that.
please.
I'm going to do that. We got.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be good.
I'm gonna do that.
That'd be good.
Where's Gallagher? I keep saying that. Where's Gallagher when you need him? Every time Schiff comes
Oh,
out.
the watermelon? Yeah, when he smacks
Yeah,
you
where he
over.
bashes the watermelon.
But George and everybody, did you hear the latest about Chris Van Hollen, the senator that went down to El Salvador to try to retrieve his murderous illegal alien, MS-13 member?
Shit.
Well, he kept on, they wouldn't let him go in to visit him, so he started making these false accusations, as Democrats love to do, saying that he must be in horrible condition, and they're treating him so poorly. So the breaking news is that they actually let him meet with this guy. They brought him out, and they met together over margaritas in a beautiful luxury resort. And Senator Van Hollen looked lovingly into this gang member's eyes and told him, we're going to do everything we can for you. And what I love is they let him meet with him for a little bit. They took him back into custody, and President Bukele of El Salvador said, okay, now that it is confirmed that he is healthy, he gets the honor of staying in El Salvador in custody. Congratulations. I love those eyeballs.
The best
Find
Hey,
a way-
you guys
Find
know we got
somebody
a
who
new
looks like you.
sponsor?
Find somebody who looks like you like that. You'll never fall out of love, right?
Man, Sean, you're just you and I are just right on the same
prop
right on
king,
the same
Terry.
communication channel today.
Watch this. We have a new sponsor for our show.
So
Hold on.
Are you distraught after the recent presidential election? Here at Don't Cry Cryo, we understand your pain, and we're here to help. Our expert team of cryogenic care providers can cryogenically freeze you until the Trump presidency has ended. No more crying, No more anxiety attacks, just blissful sleep until Trump is gone. When you awaken from your slumber, we'll even have a party ready and waiting for you. It will be like his presidency never even happened. It was all just a bad dream. As an added bonus, you can choose the Vance add-on package. We'll extend your sleep for an additional 4 years at a 50% discount in the event J.D. Vance wins the next presidential election. Everything will be okay. We're here to take care of you in your time of need. So remember, don't cry, cryo.
Where am I? Oh, please tell me it's over. Wait, something isn't right.
This is your captain, Elon Musk. I want to be the first one to welcome you to Mars. Sorry, Donald Trump Jr. was just elected president, and he deported all Don't Cry Cryo customers to Mars.
What the?
That's a good one.
That's funny.
That's
Oh man,
I just had to squeeze that in.
you talk
don't
about
think-
an answer to all of our dreams. I'll tell you.
It's funny. Yeah, speaking of the port, and I mean, it's even a friend of mine who keeps on saying that with this guy, he's on our side, but he's a little bit soft with some stuff, and he thinks that like we shouldn't have deported this guy. And he's like, I want proof. Can you send me proof with pictures of his gang tattoos? So that post that the president of El Salvador posted, you could see the MS-13 on his knuckles. So this morning I sent it to him. I said, there's your proof of the tattoos. So after like 10 minutes, he comes back with saying, they're not margaritas, they're water. So I look and I zoom back in on the picture because I already saw the picture because I looked at it too. I remember there was salt on the rim. So I sent him back. I said, okay. So I guess that's a big thing of putting salt on the rim of the glass when you drink water. Is that a big thing?
Mm.
Yeah. I said, but that's what you want to talk about now. The water, like everybody just looks for stupid excuses. The guy's a bad guy. He shouldn't have been in our country. Out. Period.
Yeah, and Sean, this is one way I almost feel like the Democrats have pushed the Republicans further than they needed to go. Because what makes me so mad is you hear Pam Bundy and all these people coming out and they're stating all of these different things. You know, hey, he was an MS-13 gang member. He was a human smuggler. He was caught with drugs and money on him, and he had been ordered deported. All these things are great, and that's all cool, but it only comes down to one thing, and that is he was in this country illegally. You shouldn't have to say anything else. You know, that's it. Boom. End the statement. In the country illegally. Sorry, sucks being you. Bye. Time for you to go home.
The plan was in place with the Biden administration and also with Obama that they were going to put these judges, these liberal, progressive judges, because they knew Trump was going to win. So it didn't matter. So everything was planned. The 280 judges they did, and the best one is the one that burnt Shapiro's house was a Muslim. They won't say that one. You know, they let's protect hey Palestine, free Palestine. They all sing that song.
Yeah, you got that guy who burned down the house. He was waiting to really do some damage to Shapiro when he came out. They said they wanted to kill him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was waiting for him. That was part of the thing. Burn the house, let him come out, and I'll get him, as they say.
You see how much damage was in that house? The whole room was just charred.
Yeah.
He's lucky he didn't make it upstairs. But where was the
well, they're supposed to have the state.
Where was security?
Supposed to have some. No, they have state police assigned to them.
Yeah, but how'd they get it?
I have no
He
idea.
jumped the fence,
No,
but he wasn't paying attention.
Because maybe the cop was sleeping in the car.
This is. I don't know if everybody ever read the Quran. Somebody sent me the book to break my balls with it, but I did look at it. You know, they were giving them away, so he decided to mail it to my house to break my balls about it. But I did read it, and the interesting part is their mission. If you're not like them, if you don't change your religion, we're going to bring this up next Thursday, but the whole thing is, you don't follow their religion, you're an enemy, and they believe, and the Jews have to be destroyed, and so is the state of Israel. And when that happens, they believe Muhammad is coming back, which Muhammad ain't Jesus Christ. So that ain't happening. But this is what they believe. In the 72 virgins, I mean, I have a special shirt made that says 72 virgins special detail that I would gladly help them to find them when they, get them closer to where they got to go. Because these things, like we all taking our eye off the ball about what's going on with all the colleges and everything else. And look at Harvard University. Harvard University used to be a Christian-based university. And look what they're doing. I mean, they're fighting the thing about with the women into sports and the thing about with the protests that they're not going to fight against the protests and stuff. I don't know. I tell you,
These universities have indoctrinated themselves, right? I mean, their own professors, their administrators, everybody.
Yeah. So, but the whole thing is that and I say it from a long time ago, it's all these protesters from the Vietnam War that became professors. They hated this country from then to avoid the Vietnam War and all that stuff. And they figured that, and the amount of money that they got, you got to figure that the professors are making so much money, right? So now they're teaching hatred to these kids to show them how bad this country is. But they got the opportunity from this country. We the other night we were at the honor flight, and to watch these veterans come home, and I tell everybody, and this is a message to everybody, that when you see a Vietnam veteran, not only say thank you for your service, but tell him welcome home, because they weren't welcome home when he came home. They were spit
on. They were spit on by the hippies.
Weren't allowed to wear the uniforms coming back and everything else. And look what happened. Look what happened yesterday. Dakota Myers, and I know the story about Dakota Myers. Dakota Myers re-enlisted into the Marines. Now, Dakota Myers, the dog tags I have on my arm here. There's an article about this Marine that Dakota, after the war, they had a battle that they set up with 6 of them. 6 Marines went in, and they were ambushed by the Afghanistans. All right, the Taliban, and they were set up. And Dakota took my friend's body out, my friend's son's body out, and he still had the rifle on his shoulder, still shooting, and they got him to his head. So I mean, and that's why he got the Medal of Honor. He saved like 6 soldiers.
He's a hero.
Yeah,
It's so sad. That's
and
so
and
sad.
the whole thing is, and I know the mother Susan Price very well. I mean, she's a Gold Star mom. I deal with a lot of Gold Star moms, and to hear this story and how the things were, and how bad that we got, like Trump always says, it's a waste of war and everything else, but the amount of people that we lost, and that's why, and I'm going to get back into about the PTSD, which is very important. That when Trump was president the first time around, the number was 22, which was the famous number of the amount of veterans that were committing suicide. From the 22, President Trump brought it down to 17 because he started attacking the VA hospitals about the drugs that were given out to all these things. Then when Biden came back, the number now is, and I have to correct everybody because they keep on saying number 22. It's not. It's 44 now a day. And now Trump is straightening out the administration. And you go to these demonstrations, and there's actually veterans in there that are talking about, they're all upset about the VA hospital being done. They don't know, they don't understand, and the amount of money because of the drugs and stuff that they would give. I would go to a hospital and see how long a veteran wait. The one in Tampa is very, very good. The one in Orlando, forget about it. They had the flags. They had the LGBTQ flag up, the Juneteenth flag up, and the American flag and the POW flag were outside, but not inside of the VA. So
Wow.
It's and to watch these veterans come home on that honor flight, it was unbelievable. I mean, a wheelchair. There was a guy that was on a wheelchair. We honored him, and he got up. He's in a lot of pain, but he got up to hug another veteran, another Vietnam vet, which was unbelievable. It was Terry I. But if you ever want to do the honor flights, they're pretty good too.
Well, you posted that video on your Facebook page for anybody that's on Facebook. They can see it.
Yeah. That I try to put up a lot of stuff, and and then we had the J6s about that's going on. Just see guys are getting pardoned. People don't understand it. they can't get a job. They can't get loans and money. There's still those 14 guys that were on that list. Still, they're not. People got pardoned, but the pardon, you're still known as like a domestic terrorist. That's what they're called. And the thing that fucked up everything, excuse my language, which it's Freaky Friday, so I could curse now, but the Patriot Act destroyed this country.
Yeah.
If they don't get rid of it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what they used against the guys, because that's why they were treated the way they were. That's why they didn't get hearings.
The FBI went into FBI. Yeah, FBI got the records of everybody using their credit cards between January. Trust me, I was there. I was there January 6th. I'm very proud of that, and I can tell you the stories about the FBI. But they checked everybody's credit card to see if they were in that area.
Debit card, credit card, bank card.
1,500.
Rents phones too.
Cell service.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And MasterCard and Visa were both more than happy just to open that private information up, even though they had no search warrant.
It's against the law for the bank to do that.
Exactly.
It's against the law.
Absent a judge ordered search warrant, but yeah, they were just happy to pony that right up.
It's funny you brought that up though, George, about the Patriot Act. I was having a conversation yesterday with a friend of mine in my neighborhood. I was having a cigar out front when I got home because it was about 65 degrees here. It was nice. And he walked by and we were talking about 9/11, the buildings that came down, right? And because with the Tucker Carlson video just came out not too long ago with the guy that he mentioned Tony Schaefer a bunch of times. Anyway, we started talking about that Building 7 and how all this stuff really led to the Patriot Act, right? Mm-hmm. And we were talking about how the FBI, there's a thing in our area, Fort Dix 6. There were a couple guys that were going to shoot up the base, but they were infiltrated with FBI agents. They try to force them that. So many of these big things have been infiltrated by FBI that they look like they break something. They're all started by the FBI,
Yeah. Well, Building 7.
But I'm saying, this Patriot Act, it didn't really save anybody from anything.
No,
it's all been weaponized for the stuff.
Yeah. Against citizens of America. That's what that thing was. Yeah. 7 World Trade came down on purpose because I know it was in that building. I did construction in there, and also I was in the trade center when it happened. But the thing that was the reason why the 7 World Trade came down was because they had the FBI in there, they had the CIA in there, they had the emergency of New York City in there, and they were monitoring all the inside trading in the World Trade Center because of all the stuff that was happening. So, what happened is when they built that building, all the vehicles that have to make deliveries to all the other, there were 6 in one location and 7 World Trade. So everybody had to go through 7 World Trade to go underneath, to go to the other buildings because of what happened with the bombing of 1993. But everything was like the morning when I came out. I don't know if I told people the story before, but when I came out that morning, there was always coffee wagons around the buildings, and they were missing. And what was strange was you thought half of the cabs weren't there. It was like you thought it might have been a holiday or some shit. And I knew the coffee wagons were owned by Muslims because they had the Ayatollah Khomeini's pictures in there. Not one of them were there because I was pissed off because they had good coffee. I'll tell you that much. I had to go to Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme, I hated that coffee. And then we had to wait for 2 Muslim techs that had to come in because we had to wire up their cabinets and do the communication and electric for it. And they didn't show up either. But the thing that we have to be, and again, like I tell everybody, I said when I spoke with the J6s the other night, I said, if you want to trust the government, ask the American Indian, right? Ask the American Indian.
With blankets.
Yeah, that's it. So and it's just a game, and people have to realize what's going on in this country. Even now, I mean. I know people are complaining about Pam Bondi, and it's not happening. General Flynn's having a shit fit, which I don't blame him. I mean, he's got General Flynn's got a list. I don't know. It just they're worrying about. I think the reason why they're holding back so much because it's going to incriminate a lot of congressmen and senators and stuff, and a lot of important people. They're worried about the country collapsing because if we lose the Congress and the Senate, it could collapse. Because don't forget, we got China and Cuba, we got China and Mexico, we got China and Canada, and their ships were off not too far from me. I mean, that it was funny to say, well, not say, but like the movie Red Dawn, how they came into, and what saved it was that like the young kids today, like I tell everybody, you're not going to fight somebody with a keyboard. You're not going to fight somebody with a smartphone.
Keyboard tough guys.
Well, that's.
How about this tragedy that happened yesterday in your state, George? With this,
the kid was on medication. Yeah, the kid was on medication. All this bullshit and everything else. Took the mother's gun. The mother was a cop. Took her gun because she got a new gun. I mean, what the hell? You don't lock up the gun. I mean, the kid. But the problem is these kids are being told and whatever in school. I mean,
this kid's been indoctrinated. This kid,
Well,
he's a Trump hater and everything else. It's been shown.
Yeah, well, they want us. You have to understand what the Democrats want us to do, and some Republicans also. But they want us to forget the past. They don't want us. They don't want us to realize about the past. Like the bombing in Beirut, where the Marines got killed, and then you had, we got and the 1993 bombing of the Trade Center, the bombing of the World Trade Center, and then and everything just adds up. And then they make these shitholes come into this country that don't respect the country. I mean, there's some decent Muslims, but the whole thing is, if they follow that Quran, you can't trust them. If they follow the beliefs of that book, and then they could build these big buildings, and I mean, it just, what are we doing ourselves? I mean, are we that? These assholes that are in that awful, that represent us. It's just that they don't. I mean, they don't. Because of the
bunch of cowards.
Yeah, well, forget about the cowards. It's the money. Look at that guy that was working for, what do you call it, Iran, stealing our technology. How the fuck you can let them in? I mean, I don't, And then China's buying land. I mean, we could get the land back because you could do eminence domain. But all the land that China bought with it next to military sites, I mean, like, really?
Yeah. I mean, thank God we have President Trump, George, because if anybody is going to turn that around and do something about it, it's our President Trump.
He's being held back. Really, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to go over the floor.
I've got just a little bit of some chat business I have to take care of. First of all, Loves Christ asked me where I got that video, and I assume it's the video of sending the losers up to Mars. That was actually Trixie's video. So Trixie, if you can let him know, let Loves know where they can find that. Is that
Instagram?
So I guess just go search on that. But a more important thing, I also was looking down and I noticed that Sean was talking some shit in chat here, saying that American Mark was too shy to ask people to hit the like button. And you know what? I guess he's right. George was talking on, so I didn't really have.
Well, are you guys losing your shit? Are you losing your shit? That's everybody's losing their shit today, aren't they?
Oh yeah, I was pregnant. That's why.
What the? I'm losing my shit.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a one.
Like Sonny, you scream cultural appropriation all the time, yet here you are. I look at you. I say congratulations with your new hairstyle. It looks good on you. But you straightened it, and you colored it blonde. That's stealing white people's culture.
Just 15 weeks ago, folks, it's only been 15 weeks. So when the country needed a leader, Kamala was the one who stepped up. Kamala did what Kamala always does. She just put her head down and she went to work. Kamala did what Kamala always does. She just put her head down and she went to work.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
I gotta get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
I've got to get
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're wanted on the phone. Everything's going to be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
I've got to get out of here. Out of here. Out of here. I've got to get out of here.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Trans girls are girls. And for all the folks that are so concerned, thank you for your concern about women for the first time that I've seen. I don't know about y'all. I don't know who's been to gym class lately, but girls, even if you only believe in two genders, I've played co-ed sports all the time.
Oh, yeah!
What would you do if you come across a couple homos playing this game at the park? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna identify as a dog catcher and put a net around his ass. I hope a finger pops through the bag next time he cleans up after his boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's a cute one. I like that one. That's
You just keep getting better and better at this stuff.
Mm.
Now, if that's not a reason to hit the like button,
Yeah.
I don't know what is.
Thank you very much, Trixie. The best. Yeah, the best.
That way we got to laugh in after all that heavy stuff, you know.
Red Ginger says she's
Oh,
flying
man.
over here.
Hey, and another laugh. I actually did, although this isn't the official Trump quote of the day. But when we were talking about Letitia James, he did just 8 hours ago. Our president put out this truth saying, turns out you can't have a principal residence in Virginia and be AG of New York. Also, you can't say that you're your dad's husband or claim that a 5-unit rental is 4. But that's what Letitia James did while going after Trump for the same thing. You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
So that was
in fairness to her, and I hate being fair to her because I can't stand her, but there is a new math that they teach. Maybe she was part of that new math. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that tells you that you can be your dad's husband.
a lot of crazy
I don't
shit.
even know how you get your arms around that. But
Remember how she
There's
stared
a
at
lot of
Trump?
crazy shit.
Remember how she stayed at Trump doing the whole thing with the when he was getting the verdict and all that stuff? How she stared at Trump? We got to find something like Trump staring her back. You know, no. These guys, the guys that do these memes and stuff, I mean, they should be an award center or something. It's too much. It's unbelievable. Can't make that stuff up.
Yeah, there's some really funny stuff out there, I'll tell you.
Trixie's been doing some good memes though for a while, so she's
no.
pretty sharp.
That one was fun to put together. I almost peed myself when I was making that one. I like doing that. Yeah, I like that losing your shit segment. I think it's funny.
Well, it sounds like George with the voiceover too, which is even better.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Frank though. There at the end.
Red just said, Trixie, you'll never be able to top that one.
Oh, that's a dare. Wait till next week.
Yeah,
Then.
you gotta wait till next week.
Yeah, Deb TX, Trixie's the mean queen.
Lost sometimes, lost, but me.
I think the funny thing was Austin Powers with the Willie Brown, and he says, "Yeah, baby," that was funny in the car.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's funny. You know, I'm going to do the trivia thing because we still got Trump truce and an update on Nashville. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to do that. But the trivia question yesterday was a hard one, and I apologize. I won't make them that hard again. But it was.
I'm still scratching my head from yesterday's trivia question.
Which act of 1882 was the first significant law restricting immigration to the United States based on nationality? And the answer was the Chinese Exclusion Act. And Cindy J.K. got it. So Cindy J.K., get on to Wake Up Patriots 2 at Gmail and send me your address so you can get your prize. But nobody, they're like Jilly had Immigration Act. They had Enemy Aliens Act. And Denise had an Immigration Act. But it was actually the
reason why they came in for that with that act coming in. Because there was so much Chinese labor doing the railroad tracks and stuff, they also brought in a lot of opium.
Yep.
And they were very heavy into that. So they were trying to control the drugs as far as back then. But China was a piece of shit then. They're still a piece of shit. They should have made Japan take them over. It would have been fun.
Well, and you know what's really funny about that, George, is almost indirectly that opium came from the UK because there was no opium use or abuse in China until the UK got in a trade war with China.
Yep.
And, so they started what they called the Opium Wars. They started shipping all this cheap opium up from Afghanistan that they controlled at the time right into China. And and it's exactly what China is trying to do to the United States right now with fentanyl.
Fentanyl, right?
It's
that's the biggest.
A lot of historical tentacles tying things together there.
But how much land did England own? I mean, all these countries. So did Italy. Italy owned the northern part of Africa and stuff like that. There was a lot of places that they put their feet in and everything else. And what happened? I mean, England was the first one. I mean, they blame America, but England was the one that did it all. They started all.
Yeah.
But
you want to do we're going to do Trump truce.
Yeah.
Somebody's watching me. Somebody's watching me. Somebody's watching me.
Hey, take your finger out the button.
I did. Hands up.
Okay, so Trump truce for this Frisky Friday. Actually, I picked out a small one, and it came in only less than 1 hour ago. So just before we started the show today, and I thought it would be a great one because I thought it would kick off a discussion about this illegal alien, good old Kilmar Garcia down in El Salvador, but. What a great name, Kilmar. Kilmar Garcia. Yeah. Turns out we already had the discussion anyway, but I'll go ahead and hit it. President Trump, just 52 minutes ago. Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland looked like a fool yesterday standing in El Salvador, begging for attention from the fake news or anybody else. Grandstander.
Yep.
So nice short one today. And it's funny, I picked that out when I saw it just before the show, and I thought, hey, this will be a great way to kick off a discussion of that. But obviously, we beat that horse to death before we ever got to this segment.
No, it's just amazing. It's I can't. And you know what it is? They got all these followers. That look at the crowd they're getting with Bernie Sanders and AOC now with the turnout that's coming out. It's unbelievable. The crowds that they're getting. It ain't that.
That's where the excitement is in the Democrat Party is that leftist side, because they're just, I mean, look, they're bonding with illegals, illegal gang members, right? They keep on jumping on the 80-20. They're hanging on to allowing men and women's sports.
Yep.
It's bizarre what they're hanging on to. And I think the more so moderate Democrats are probably sitting back on, what do I do? Do I jump in on this, or do I kind of, they don't know where it's going to go, I don't think.
Yeah, well, I think the one in Massachusetts, she should get arrested. That crazy woman in Maine, that governor.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's defying
Yeah, the
everything.
governor of
And
Massachusetts.
all these idiots. I mean, can't you see that they're defending murderers? I mean, they're defending murderers and they're defending
Yeah.
how messed up they are. You know, we got a serious problem in this country, and it's they're so uneducated. The kids can't even give you names. Some of the college kids on the beach. What's his name? Jesse's guy that goes out and they ask him who was the first president of the United States, and they say Lincoln or somebody.
Yeah. I
mean,
heard one say Nixon one time.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring something up because we're talking about
Yeah,
all this violence and stuff with these crazy leftists before, and this story's been like ill in the news. But I just saw a Post Millennial posted last night or.
Oh, you're frozen. Slap him around.
He was about to say something about the CIA. I bet.
Wow. Here I. Well, you know what? It's funny. I got pencil and that came back, and all of a sudden I was out. What's going on here? Post Millennial reported about this Wisconsin. I haven't seen it on the news. This Wisconsin teen that killed his parents, and he wanted to kill Trump. Did you guys see that story?
Yeah.
Is that
That's
absolutely
sick.
crazy? I mean,
Yeah.
Then he was messaging with a phone number out in Ukraine about trying to get drones to drop explosives and this and that.
All back to Ukraine again. Isn't that funny? That's deep state. That's deep state. I say it all the time.
Post Millennial has a story. If anybody wants to check it out, it's a pretty interesting story.
Well, like we said before, and also somebody in the chat said about the best way. You know, we're all talking about treason and stuff like that. The best one they're going to nail everybody is with the RICO Act, with the money. And it'll be done real quick because the RICO Act, it's easier to pin on somebody than, the treason and everything else, because you don't have the, and what's her name? Barrett was a very big disappointment, that Bragg that was told. But, she was suggested by Barr and Pence. Trump was looking at a whole bunch of Supreme Court people, and they just was like the whole act, how they were persecuting her in front of the committee and stuff. There's a whole bunch of stuff that we must look at. And I keep on saying, when Trump speaks, you got to listen to everything he says. Like the whole thing is now with the Italian. I mean, my cousin texted me. She says, why does President Trump want to hurt Italy? I said, no, he's trying to help out Italy. Because what happened is those countries, a lot of countries got destroyed because of joining the European Union, because of the money and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, look at Greece. Greece is
zero. They got zero. I mean, their bonds are like they ain't got any. Put it that way.
They're destroyed. Totally gone.
Well, it's like if you want to buy something, you had to buy from their country.
Yeah.
Or you can't buy it all. Then they brought the Chinese in. I met some people in Mar-a-Lago, Italians that came in, and they said that they bought a port in Naples. The Chinese took over. They're going to get them out, but they're the Chinese are like roaches. Put it that way.
Yeah.
They come in, they try to they do everything that they try to get away with. And our thing is we got to stop them. We got to stop them dead in their tracks, and all the stuff. And don't think that they're not funding. The Muslim countries are funding all these the Palestinian bullshit. But don't forget, China's doing the same shit. Because if you see a lot of protesters, with the mask on and everything else, they got slanty eyes like this. They what do you call them? They ain't.
I'm so glad you're so politically correct, George.
Listen, if you don't like what I say, there's no reason to be here.
I'm sitting here. I'm like,
I love it.
My eyes look slanty this morning. I'm just my allergies.
Actually,
George, political.
The best one I saw was a Chinese guy. Listen, if it wasn't for the Chinese, the Italians wouldn't have pasta. So, but the whole thing is, the guy is driving into the sun, and he's squinting his eyes. How much more do you think they could squint their eyes about the sun? That's what drove me crazy. The guy's going like 30 miles an hour on a highway.
I sneeze when I go out in the sun.
What happened now?
Then have that reaction where you go out in the sun and you sneeze. If you have blue
I've
eyes,
heard
Are
of
you
that.
part vampire?
Yeah, but we don't have.
yeah, that's why
By the way, look, you had that problem.
Vampire?
You had that problem. Only you have that problem, Trixie.
I
We
know.
don't have that problem.
I know, but it's the blue eyes. If you have blue eyes, the
With
sun will
blue
do
eyes,
that to you.
The blonde
Well, I
hair,
have
the
blue
blue
eyes.
eyes.
Don't you sneeze?
Hey, wait, that
Well, I
happened to
sneeze,
me.
but not because of the
I got
sun.
blue ones.
Yeah, look,
I
Bob's
sneeze.
got blue eyes. He ain't sneezing.
Oh, I don't know what it is. And maybe I'm allergic to life. I don't know.
Trixie
I don't
walks out,
think
she's
so.
like, the sun.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, at least I
I
don't
just
melt like
wanted
a whip.
to.
Hey,
I wanted to follow up
Pat,
with George though
what?
about the political correct speak. That wasn't an insult. I consider any politically correct language to be probably the most
Listen,
vulgar profanity that
yeah,
you can utter.
They
So
killed they killed the comic thing that was happening in the street. I mean, you got to. People used to talk about everybody, not like you got to worry
Yeah,
about.
comics bust on everybody were always fun. I mean, it didn't matter. You know, they would just bust on everybody, and it was hilarious.
hey, remember when we were kids? We used to have a saying. I know I've said it before, but it's a great saying: "Sticks and stones may break my
Yeah.
bones, but words can never hurt me." That's what America's all about. You know, I mean, I don't care what you say about me. It doesn't change my opinion of myself
As long
or
as
who
you
I
hit the
know.
like button, Mark.
Yeah,
You can say nasty things about you if you hit the like button.
You got to find out who does the like button, and if you don't hit the like button, I'm going to come and find you.
Well, I was
George
going to
is gonna
say
do
we're
George's going to
not.
do a forensic like button audit, and
How
Hey, listen,
about if I
somebody
do a
put
like button over that shoulder?
Yeah. What do you call it? Somebody
I
came in the chat about
doesn't
David.
happen for me. Why?
The show
Man,
David.
you got like a
You're just
special
not
thing going. You got a gift.
You're just not as skilled at hitting the like button.
I'm not as
there.
cool as American Mark, that's for sure.
At least when it comes to like buttons. Nope.
This is my like button. I just do that.
Yeah. Well, I know, but
okay. Well,
so
did we want to talk a little bit about Nashville early, or
yeah, go ahead. Rock and roll.
wait a minute. I
Trixie, you got our? Do you have our URL?
Yeah, I do. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Okay,
George,
so
you
pretty
see that
soon you're
text?
going to see a URL on the bottom.
If somebody brought up a chat about the show David, was it played on Amazon, which is pretty good. It was eight chapters of season 1. They're coming out with season 2. It's they're finally, for some reason, they're starting to get into this religion stuff. The show, yeah, except Disney. Disney's.
Oh, Disney.
What? Do you remember that line about playing Jesus Christ? The part that line a lot was it? Asla was the one that the name of the lion, but he was being like Jesus Christ with the children and everything else, like the sermon and everything else, but didn't say Jesus. Now they want to do it, change it to a woman. It's just that they don't stop. They just don't stop.
Maybe a trans woman, George. Get with the
Oh,
times.
God.
Let me tell
Here
you.
we go. Yeah.
Kick somebody, you kick them in the balls, you see how fast he changes. That's the test. I give you a test. You go, yeah, okay, yeah, come here, let me kick you. I'll show you. Let's see how high you can really speak. Good. All right, I finished.
All right. Well, let's get on to Nashville. I know a lot of people have been waiting for a week for this. We have really good news about that. Is everything's up and running. We have a registration site, wakeuppatriotsconvention.com.
Wow.
I'll point out that I think Trixie had one minor little typo here. It's not www.
Oh yeah, it's not a comma. It should be a dot. Sorry,
It's a dot.
I did it fast.
And frankly, the way that DNS works now, you don't even have to use the W's. So
yeah, no more. Yep.
Yeah, wakeuppatriotsconvention.com. If you go there, you're going to see a big red button right at the top of the screen that says I don't know. I typed it, but it says something like "click here to register and reserve your hotel room." You click on that, it brings up a nice, easy little form that we just asked for your name, your Rumble name, just so we can put together RD Bull with their real name, or I'm just looking down and or this somebody called Trixie in the mix, so we'll be able to know who you are from your screen name. And then we're just asking if you can tell us how many total will come. You hit that button and you are going to get a link to a special site with our discounted rates. And there you can put in your credit card number and reserve your room. It's up. It's ready to go right now. You can do it as soon as we get off the air. The only thing I'll tell you is I noticed when I did it, it doesn't necessarily default to August 21st through 23rd. So check your dates. Make sure that you're either putting in 21st through 23rd.
Can you put
Or
your Marriott Bonvoy number in there? Will they be able
did.
to pick that up?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I got one. I want to make sure I
as
get
soon
it.
as
I
you
got
get,
one. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
as soon as you get to that page, if you have a Marriott Bonvoy, just go up in the upper right hand side, click on, sign in. You'll sign in. It'll take you right back to the same place. Now, I did also arrange because I had heard that, for example, Denise is flying in from the West Coast. She wants to get in on Wednesday. I believe I heard FL for Trump wanted to stay an extra day. So we did arrange for a few extra rooms that if you want to check in on Wednesday and or check out on Sunday, you're going to get the same $155 discounted rate, 183 with everything on it. So we only have 20 rooms so far, but if we fill that up real quickly, I think I just got notification that FL4 Trump is already signed up.
Wow, look at that. Who's the first one to sign up? FL for
Well,
Trump?
the first one was American Mark because he did it yesterday.
Wait, but you don't count.
But I'll be seeing that actually they're coming in. I get notified. Yep, right here. Greg Murray, new contact.
I'll do it when we get off so I can get my
Tricks. I put the screen.
Yeah, it looks
in
like
there before I share it.
FL4 Trump was the first to ring the bell. So good deal, Greg. You will and Denise Adams has also and somebody else just come in. Charlene Maxwell. We got a lot of people signing up. So if we and there's Deb Schlanger. Sorry, Schlanger.
Schlanger.
Schlager.
We're
Sorry.
rolling in.
Sorry, Deb. I should be better than that.
What happens if we don't show up?
So
Well, they're going to have a great party.
The
without us.
reservations are rolling in. If for any reason you get there and it says that you don't have that rate, just notify me. You can, if you have any questions, just send it to info@wakeuppatriotsconvention.com. So that's the email address, info@wakeuppatriotsconvention.com, and I'll respond to any of those.
Mark,
I've already been told if we use up those first rooms, we can start adding more rooms incrementally, 5 or so at a time. So if you don't see your rate, just let me know. I'll contact the hotel. We'll release some more rooms and I'll respond to your email and let you know, hey, go ahead and try it again.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Mark, you ought to put that like a little link on here for that info thing, maybe.
Lenore Lewis just hit the button.
That's red. It's Red Ginger.
Okay. Red Ginger is in.
Look at the countdown, guys. 125 days away.
Yep. 125 days
Chris is coming too, and he's bringing his wife Beth with him too.
Oh, nice. Oh, we're gonna have a fun time.
Yeah. He said he didn't want to miss
Trixie, what's happening? Go down to the middle. That's supposed to be. Is that link broken? Video. Oh, that's weird. Okay, that was supposed to be our show. Whenever I see it, it shows our show from last week. But I'll be updating that right after the show with this broadcast. So if you ever want to, if anybody was not watching us live and wants to see it, they'll be able to see it there. Likely, I'm also going to add another page with some suggested attractions for people who haven't been to Nashville. There's a handful of things like the RCA Studio C, and of course the Country Music Hall of Fame. A couple of things like that I'll probably be throwing in there just for some.
Get a hold of Red Ginger. She already scoped out all the whiskey distilleries within walking distance.
And wait,
from one to one, you got to make it.
And that's the last thing I had to tell you. I don't even know if I have informed producer Trixie about this yet. But I'm going to go on a recon mission. I'm leaving here Thursday. We're going down. I'm staying at our hotel, and I am going to be broadcasting live next Friday from our
cool.
from the lounge where we're going to have the meeting.
That's
So
gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah. So that way I'm going to go down and recon, and one of the first things I'm going to do is see what the closest bar within walking range of the hotel is,
No, it
because
looks
I
like
think that's
a
probably
lot of people are
important.
joining up, so that's cool. That's gonna be good.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I think it'll be a lot
I
of
can
fun.
do-
We can't do any shenanigans in the morning broadcast, though. I had to promise that to leave the broadcast open for 4 hours. So I said no morning shenanigans, but there'll be shenanigans at night.
Yep. So
We
we're
could
going to have a lot of
we
fun.
could do a recorded show and play it one of the days that we broadcast on. We could record a show with everybody in there, and then play it like on a Friday, right?
Yeah.
And then we could piss off all the people that didn't show.
Or
You'll be able to see because
or
the
at least
broadcast will be open the whole 4 hours. So
or at least get footage, go around with get footage of people. That would be kind of cool.
We'll put a whole bunch of clips together. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, put
And-
the
and
highlights.
also, I'm
the lowlights.
I'm collecting all the email addresses. I'm going to have a list of everybody, and there's a good chance if I find the right sponsor that I will be reaching out to you asking for your T-shirt size, because we're going to see if we might be able to get an inaugural Wake Up Patriots convention T-shirt, something that may be worth millions of dollars in the future. So
that deserves a like right now.
I could do a sponsorship, put on a label in the back, one of the spots on the shirt.
Yeah. George and I will we'll coordinate, and we will make this happen.
I'll get
So
some sponsors. I'll get some people.
So I'll let the reservations come in and settle down some, and probably once I have a pretty much complete list sometime next week or so, I'll send out an email to everybody. It'll come from info at wakeuppatriotsconvention.com.
And when we do the shirts, we'll have to ask everybody their sizes so we can put the stuff on the back of the shirt, so we don't go
Exactly.
We'll get their sizes, so we'll have them when they get there, we could give them the shirts after they're done.
And so that means that in 26 and 27 and in 2029, when you're able to come back here and you're walking around sporting your inaugural convention shirt,
that's right.
just going to kind of put you, kind of in an elite.
We'll even throw Ed Henry's name on there too, someplace.
Yeah, well, maybe down. Yeah,
Just a little caricature of Ed with the cigar.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I got the artwork for that one. I've got
the one with him in the robe.
Yeah, that one. We owe that one to Kim. Kim,
man,
Kim
and my phone is just exploding here with hey, Sean Lucas.
Did he even sign up? All right.
I heard of that guy. Apparently, he just signed up.
We should all go as a group out though on Friday night.
Yeah.
We have to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
That's no doubt. As I mentioned before, we're all going to get a $5. Actually, it's a $10 Lyft voucher, but it's good for $5 one way and $5 the next. I'm pretty sure that they can be combined. So I'm thinking we'll probably just order a fleet of Lyft cars. So you don't have to worry about if you have a couple of cocktails, and we'll just jam as many Patriots into each car as we can. Get 2 or 3 or 4. If we get some of the bigger ones, get 4 people in.
They have vans too, also.
Hand your vouchers out, and we'll go take over Broadway.
Yeah,
we could also get a party bus too. Get those party buses, 70 people.
I'm not driving them. I'm not driving the party bus.
I don't think we want any of the Patriots driving. Yeah.
No, because
the only thing I'm not doing is I'm not getting on one of those pedal bars. That's the silliest thing I ever heard. The last thing I want to do is be drinking alcoholic beverages and then having to be the guy who's actually pedaling and moving the damn bar.
But we could, if we did, we'll go on one of those. I could bring a whole bag of plastic beads, and if we go down Broadway, we could just toss them off the pedal cart as we drink it.
And Charlene Maxwell just signed up too. So I'm afraid I might have to book a lot more rooms here we'll see. I'm going to keep a close eye on it. And if we need to open up more rooms, I'll be able to get to my contact on Monday morning and we'll open up more rooms. So if you don't see the rates, once again, if you don't see the rates that you want, just hold off, send me a note, and we'll make sure you get it.
Yeah, I gotta get my card. Because I got what do you call the Marriott card also.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
All
important
right.
if you want to catch your
Boy, how
points.
that show went so quick, everybody. Oh my God.
That was a quick
Yeah,
hour.
it was. I
Yeah.
know the whole hour
Hey,
just went.
are we doing the YMCA thing again? Or no?
Not
I don't have it
today.
queued, I don't have it queued up. I'm sorry.
I'd have to run
I
and go
was
get my
joking.
feather hat.
Yeah, I
I
don't have
was
it queued
joking.
up.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, this was a
Sean's
good.
got Adam Schiff. I got my buddy here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he keeps on coming back.
Yeah.
I think
Oh, yeah. Come on,
everybody should
come
hold
on,
the pen.
bring it on, buddy.
Look at the watermelon.
Yeah, you know what? They make pencil erasers that look like watermelons.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to find one.
They have them. I know they have them. I know. I've seen them before. That would be great.
And USN is signed up. I just didn't see the email come in. But
So now, obviously, we sign up on the website like I just did, but you still got to go to the link and put.
Oh
in
yeah,
your-
as soon as you hit that button, Sean, you should see the link there.
Yep. I'll have to go
Now,
get my wallet and-
if for any reason you forgot that link, I'm going to be sending out an email. I didn't automate it, so I got to do it manually. But I'll be sending out an email to everybody who signed up today, and I'll also have a link in there just in case you somehow missed it and didn't get it right. So
Except the cookies. All right.
but yeah, as soon as you hit that button after filling out the form, you should see a bunch of red letters come up, and you'll see the link to follow.
And Sodak's doing it this afternoon. She can't do it on her phone right now for some reason, she said, but she's going to do it. Said she's going to be a fun bunch out there.
That's
she's
too bad, because
I
you
can see
actually should be able to. I actually set this up so you should be able to sign up on your phone, but it probably is a lot easier to do the other way.
Yeah.
To do on a desktop.
Mark, Red Ginger wants you to get a hold of her because she doesn't know if everybody's leaving Saturday or Sunday. And if you need shirts or koozies, let her know because that's what she does.
Oh, wait, of course. Red Ginger, you've got the contract. I'll put together some artwork along with probably some input from the rest of the crew here. And we will get this going.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be fun. A lot of fun.
All right. Well, looks like we are at 5 past the hour.
Yep.
Okay,
Happy
so-
Easter, everybody. Be good over the weekend.
Kill a rabbit.
Yeah, happy Easter to everybody.
Yeah, happy Easter, absolutely.
Kill a
Absolutely,
rabbit. No.
Happy Easter.
Hey,
And Mark, I thought you were wearing bunny ears today. That was the rumor going around.
Yeah, that's right, Mark. You're disappointed.
No, Sean, that's Sunday. In church.
I thought bunny ears would get us some more likes.
Yeah, you should have worn bunny
Hey,
ears.
George
Yeah,
Colonna.
remember, if you hadn't had a chance to do it
Hey,
yet,
you see me sign up? Mark, did you see me sign up?
right there, George Colella. Yep.
Look at that.
Excellent.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
well, we're going to
done?
have a lot of fun. It's so great to have such a great group of patriots. God bless y'all. God bless the President of the United States, and God bless the United States of America.
Let's go out with
Absolutely.
a bang.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Have a good weekend.
Have a great
Bye,
Easter,
all.
everybody.
I hope you enjoyed
Bye.
the show. Hit the like button.
Hit the like button on the way out. We need it.
I'll hate you all if you don't do it.
Bye
We're gonna
bye.
do that